everyone. Thank you for coming out. This is our second Meet the Candidate event. This year we are very proud to say that this is a collaboration of all three political parties, the Libertarians, the Democratic, and the Republicans, both the central committees and the clubs. So that's pretty huge. I don't know how many places can say that they have this kind of collaboration. So thanks to everybody involved, and thank you for showing up. To get started, I believe Mike Kruger is here. He wants to come up.
Good evening, everybody. I didn't know I was going to be asked to come up here and talk, but Kenny Schulte is our new elected county clerk. He's here in the back of the room and volunteered me to speak to the office. So I want to thank the party clubs for putting this night on so that hopefully everybody can find a little bit about what's going to be on the ballot coming up in a couple of weeks. And just want to let everybody know from our office that some of the timeline for what's going. Sorry, James, I messed it all up. James, sorry. The timeline for the election coming up, starting next Tuesday, the 21st, will be the no excuse absentee period beginning, and so then with that, as the name says, you don't have an excuse required to come in and vote absentee. If you're going to be gone on election day, you can just come in and vote absentee for that last 2 weeks leading up to the election. And then all of our polling places, it is a countywide election, so every place in the county will be open on election day. As always, polls are 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. And thank you, Lois. We are open also on the Saturday prior to the election from 8 a.m. until noon. Also, the next 2 weeks will be open on Wednesday night until 6 p.m. For absentee voting, if that helps anybody out to get there and get their ballot cast. And as far as for the candidates and the political subdivisions go, remember that the election results you see on Tuesday night that we release on our website are unofficial results, and the election verification team doesn't meet until the following Tuesday. So we have to wait for all the military voters to have the opportunity to get back their ballots, and then we certify the election results on the Tuesday following the election. All the political subdivisions will then get their certificates of election, and that's when it becomes official, and candidates can be sworn in at that time. So if anybody has any questions about anything else, sitting back here at the back corner with Kenny, and just look forward to hearing from all the candidates. Thank you.
I think maybe it's just an ankle thing. All right. Now to start, we're just going to go down the list, the order folks signed in. But first, out of respect for his time, we have Sheriff Rick Harrell here to talk about Prop P.
If I get to talking, they only gave me 2 minutes, so somebody start waving a hat when I get to 2 minutes, please. Might have to stand up and there you go, thank you, Pat. So anytime you ask an American for more of their hard-earned dollars, you better have a good reason, right? And that's what I'm here to explain to you. The way this tax is set up, it's the same thing that the same amount that we asked you for in 2017, but that was for a build. This is different. What we're doing is asking that half this funds are going to go towards operating expense of the jail, which is going to allow the work that we do with housing those federal inmates to then be used to improve your jail. It's a quarter century old. It was originally built for 120 inmates. It has over twice that nowadays. So we need to do something to make it safe in a place where those folks will stay inside, and there's been escapes there. And to be perfectly frank with you, the reasons that those escapes occurred, we haven't really been able to fix that because we haven't had the funds available to do those things. All right? So it's important that we have, as a community, we have a safe and secure jail, and so half the funds are going to go for that. What we've also been able to figure out is that other funds can go towards providing each officer, each police officer in Lincoln County, whether it be a deputy or a municipal police officer, with a family living wage. You can make $75,000 a year by starting out in Winsville, but this is not what these folks are asking for. These are your family, friends, and neighbors. These are the sons and daughters of Lincoln County, and all they're asking you for is a family living wage, and they'll stick with you. That's when we did our recruitment and retention program. It was about that. We promised them 3 things: that you can have a chance to do meaningful work with people you enjoy being around every day, and our benchmark for salary is a family living wage. And that's what you're going to help me fulfill that promise. So they're holding out. We did 2 things the reason we're full at the sheriff's office is because we hired people that have already got their retirement through the military or from a municipal law enforcement down south of us, but they live in Lincoln County and they want to serve here. That's taken care of. That's the older people. The young folks, we put them through the academy. We put them on a 3-year contract, and we said, you give us 3 years and we'll try to get you there. But what I can tell you about those people that we put through the academy, they're great folks. They're doing a great job. We invest a lot of training in them. But I've had 2 get married. I've got an invitation for a wedding that's in my car my wife doesn't even know about yet. We've had 5 babies born, and they're building their family. And once they do that, just like all of us, they have bills to pay. And they want to spend quality time with their children. That's what they need. 2 minutes. All right, folks. I'm proud of the people that work at the Sheriff's Department for you, and we need to bring everybody in the municipal police departments along with us, so we can't do this by ourselves. That old boy, the last thing I tell you, that old boy that shot those 2 police officers in Herman, 2 years ago to the day that he did that, he was arrested here in Lincoln County. And I don't need to tell you that evil walks this earth, but it certainly does, and we need good people protecting us from it. Thank you.
All right. So there is a 2-minute limit for each candidate. It does go by fast, so I'm going to start walking up this way right at 2 minutes. So when you start seeing me, wrap it up, okay? All right. First on the list then, 4 candidates is Kyle Lewis.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name's Kyle Lewis. I'm running for Wright City School Board. Quick second, is there anybody in the district here? No? Okay, that's totally fine. Great practice. So, my name's Kyle Lewis. I was born and raised in Wright City. I graduated from Wright City in 2011. It has been my hometown for almost the entirety of my life. When I graduated, went to Mizzou, got my degree. I've worked for Boeing for the last 7 years. I'm a project manager supporting our F-15 program, and I think this is a great opportunity for me to get involved in my local community that's given so much to me. It's no secret that the last couple of years has been very tumultuous in the education everywhere, and I think it's very important for Wright City as it moves forward on its long-term growth to have the following priorities. First and foremost, we absolutely have to retain highly qualified staff. My mother was an educator for 30 years. She's retiring this year. She spent her whole entire career at Wright City. I personally know how important it is to retain these educators and the absolute impact that they can have on these students. There are a multitude of actions, which I don't have enough time to talk about, that a board member can support in partnership with the superintendent and leadership to improve the retention of our teachers. Secondly is student achievement in academics. I personally believe that Wright City is on a great projection for this. Our APRs came out last week. Wright City is in the top third of all schools in the state. I want to see that improve to the top quarter in the next couple of years, and this does nothing but prepare our students for when they take that first step into adulthood, whether it's to pursue a college degree, pursue a trade degree, enter our workforce immediately, or join our military. And the third priority that I think is very important is an improvement in our transparency and communication between the school districts and the community members itself. That is evident for the last 3 years. I think there's multiple things that a district can do to improve those. I think my 2 minutes is up. I appreciate the opportunity for talking tonight. If anybody has any specific questions about Wright City after we all get done talking, I'll be sitting over there. Thank you so much.
All right, next up is Carol Wyman.
Hello, my name is Carol Beeman, and I'm running for Ward 1 Alderman for the City of Troy. I've lived in Lincoln County my entire life. I have raised my children here. I've lived in the city limits for 28 years with my husband, Kevin, and we've been married 33. I'm concerned with what goes on in our community. My children are raising their children here. My plan is to work with the mayor and the board of aldermen to make the best decisions for our community and with our tax dollars. I'm committed to listening to the citizens of Troy, and to make their voice be heard as residents, to ensure that their concerns are met and heard. I can't promise that I can make changes. I can only say that I will do the best that I can for working with the board that's there. And it would be an honor to be your alderman, and I appreciate your time.
Should apologize if I pronounce your names wrong. Please correct me. All right. Next up is Gary Lightberg. Lightberg? Okay. Running for Troy Alderman, Ward 1.
I am Gary Lightberg, candidate for Alderman, Ward 1. I am married to Sherry, who was born and raised in Troy. We have 2 sons. I'm a retired banker with over 40 years of experience, including the budget process, planning into the future, asset control, problem solving, helping customers realize a dream, helping to start a business or to expand a business. Years and years of problem solving. I will have a Troy first attitude. If it's good for the city and the citizens, then I'm all in. I will effectively endeavor to turn our mindset to Troy first. I like the idea of approaching issues by asking the question, can we do better? You research the issue, you discuss if there is a better way to accomplish a solution to the issue presented. I'm a conservative Christian. I'm a Vietnam veteran, born and raised on a farm in Nebraska. We learned there what it meant to live within your means. The city can live within their means as well. As a taxpayer in Troy, I would encourage you to get involved in what goes on in the city. I would also encourage you to understand the issues the city is facing and how that affects you, the taxpayer. Prolonged deficit spending is not sustainable. Get the facts. Not social media rhetoric, A vote for someone that offers solutions and has experience to bring about change. We can do better. If you have questions, I'll be at my table. We appreciate your vote.
Next up, Monica Hepperman, Wright City School Board.
Hi everybody, my name is Monica Hepperman. I'm running for the Wright City School Board. The reason I decided to run for the school board, there's several reasons. One, it's very important to me to be involved in my children's lives and their education. I've been to field trips, class parties, the whole 9 yards. My kids are in 7th and a sophomore in high school, so that stuff isn't really there anymore. But I do actually volunteer at the middle school library a couple days a week before I even start work. It helps me have a relationship with the teachers, the administration, and know what's going on in school to be involved. So naturally my next step would be to try to run for the school board. Another reason is currently the Wright City School Board only has 2 board members out of 7 that actually have kids in the district. Parents have the state and federal responsibility for the education of their children, so it's important that the board has sufficient parent representation, which I don't believe Wright City currently has. To tell you a little bit more about myself, I grew up in Winsville, met my husband, he lived around the corner from me. I went to Emmanuel Lutheran School and St. Patrick's, and I graduated from St. Dominic. And I went to the University of Missouri St. Louis, and I received a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration with an emphasis in Management and Marketing with a minor in Psychology. For the last 17 years, I have worked at a company called Change Healthcare. I am a senior implementation specialist. I work directly with all levels of personnel within the insurance companies we are contracted with in order to have a smooth and successful implementation. This includes the high-level CEOs and different management teams and different departmental people doing the day-to-day. This career requires technical skills, personal skills, and a high degree of professionalism, all of which are required of a school board member. My main goals and focus are the academic achievement, regardless of whether a child wants to go to college, trade school, or the military. We send our kids to school in order to learn to read and write and learn math. So once they graduate, we want them to be a productive member of society and excel in their career and personal life. I believe we can do that through a classical education. A classical education should be the priority of every school. Students should be taught English language arts, mathematics, science, fact-based history, and social studies without political, religious, racial, or sexual influence to create blame or judgment. Another issue is the teacher retention. Why is this important? The teachers are the backbones of the school, and if they have to be retrained constantly, then we will not have a good teaching force and our kids will not learn. So I would like to make sure to make that a priority and would like to collaborate more with the teachers in Wright City to determine the policies and curriculum or resources the board should improve. As well as parents' rights are also very important. Parents are the federal responsibility of education of their children. Parents are not directly in charge of the school board members, administration, or teachers, but they should have a say in what they are teaching and how they are educated, how their children are educated. I believe the best way to do this is through communication. Communication is essential to the successful education of each child. There needs to be open communication between the school and the parents at all levels, including with the school board. Lastly, transparency. There needs to be transparency in what the school is teaching. Parents should have easy access to the curriculum, videos, and books used to teach the children. Okay.
So it's a lot of information you want to pack into 2 minutes. All right, next up is Jill Mayer. Jill is running for the Lincoln County Medical Center trustee.
Hello, my name is Jill Mayer, and I'm running for the Lincoln County Medical Center trustee board seat. I'm a lifelong resident of Lincoln County. My husband, Brent Mayer, and I have been married 26 years this May, and we have 2 children, Emma and Luke, who are currently in college. I started working for Lincoln County Medical Center in 2000 as the assistant controller, then transitioned to controller, and now currently work in the same building under Mercy as the team leader of finance. Over my 23 years of working for LCMC/Mercy, I have seen and been involved in the many changes the hospital has gone through. The bond issue and subsequent addition to the hospital in 2000, changes in leadership, changes in my coworkers, many who have retired after their long careers there as well. As it is for many of us, my workplace is my second home. Because of that history of being associated with our Lincoln County healthcare provider, I want to give back by donating my time and showing my support for that entity and this community by becoming a medical center board member. Another reason I'm running for the open board seat is because currently part of my job is creating the financial packet each month for the LCMC board. So in turn, becoming a board member and already having that experience and knowledge would be a benefit. Also, it would be an honor to have the opportunity to make sure our county tax dollars that support the medical center are being reinvested into our community. And lastly, my family has not only depended on this medical center for our livelihood over the years, but also has received many, many healthcare services from this medical center. It has been a blessing to be able to see our primary and specialty care providers have surgeries and hospital stays right here close to home. I am committed to making sure this facility is here far into the future to serve not just my family, but all Lincoln County families. Being a board member would be a big step in that effort. So for these reasons, I'd like your consideration and your vote for the Medical Center trustee position. Thank you.
Next up, Frank Zykin. Frank is running for the Wright City School Board as well.
Good afternoon, everybody. So one of the advantages, I guess, I have of going a little bit later in the game is everybody else has kind of hit on some of the high points. So I'm Frank Zykin, moved here to Lincoln County in 2012. I have 2 children that attend the Wright City School District, one in 1st grade and one in 6th grade currently. They are my family. I love them. And even though I love my family, I don't always agree with everything that they do. And I was in an event last night and I heard a gentleman speak, and I'm going to borrow his words. He's not here, so I can't give him credit anyways. But I'm a product of public education and I love public education. But just like my children, just because I love it, it doesn't mean that I'm happy with everything that's happening there. And so we have a litany of issues: test scores, attendance issues, the actual focus of the education these children are getting, some of the nonsense issues that were quoted as hot topic buttons, things that you see on the news. These are in all of our schools, and these are all things that I feel that need to be addressed. Teacher turnover, the construction of our new high school, and the budget issues as it relates to that. So I'm a business owner. I'm very proactive in my approach. I think I apply a lot of common sense in everything that I attempt to do. And I research the death out of everything. So that's why I feel I'd be a good fit on the Board of Education. I know we don't have many voters here, but I certainly appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, next up, Kay Dykeper. All right, she's running for Alderman of Ward 3 in Troy.
Good evening. My name is Katie Kemper, and I'm running for Alderman for Ward 3 here in Troy. I'd like to thank the organizers of this event and hope that we have these in the future. I chose Troy when moving from Illinois because I wanted a small town atmosphere, but I wanted more convenience that I had in Carlisle, Illinois, where the only shopping we had was a Walmart. I love the downtown area, and I've come to love the people, and I want to give back to the community. I have over 30 years experience in contracting, working for the Department of Defense, where I bought Black Hawk and Chinook helicopters for the Special Forces. That work made me intimately familiar with program management, budgets, financial planning, accounting, and estimating. I have also worked in private industry, and I was responsible for ensuring the company met all the requirements to qualify a military engine on time and on cost. I believe this experience qualifies me for an aldermanic position. The aldermanic board needs to be responsible to you, the taxpayer, and provide the city services that are needed while staying within the projected revenues. This will require looking at the big picture and working together to solve issues, both short and long term. I would appreciate your vote. Thank you for letting me speak. If you wish to ask questions, I'll be at the table. Thank you very much.
Next up is Beth Dean. Beth is running for Wright City School Board also.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm the last of the Wright City School Board candidates that you're going to hear from tonight. Hey, listen, I know we don't have a lot of Wright City voters here, but it's always so good to be in a room full of people who care about the issues impacting their community. So thank you for being here, and thanks to all the candidates for running. My name is Beth Dean. My husband and I have lived in the Wright City area for about 16 years, and we have 2 children in the district, one in middle school and one in elementary. As a parent, I believe it's an important time to be involved in our schools and to be involved in public education. I've been attending our board meetings for about 18 months, and I think it's a great way to be able to give back and contribute to the community and to the families who live there. As a district, I'm proud of our district. We have a lot of good things going in Wright City, and we have phenomenal teachers and staff there who have impacted our lives, and I'm so thankful for them. Lots of great programs and learning opportunities. And of course, like every school district, we have areas where we can improve as well. And so I want to ensure that we are committed to continuous improvement and constantly seeking to add value to our staff and to our students. Priorities for our Wright City district, as have been mentioned, of course, student achievement, ensuring that our kids have a solid academic foundation, focusing on the core pillars of education, reading, writing, math, science, ensuring that they're well equipped as they graduate from our district. Of course, teacher recruitment and retention, it's a difficult time today to be a teacher for a variety of reasons. And particularly as a small district, we have to be creative in examining areas such as pay and benefits and development opportunities so that we can attract and retain our high quality staff. And finally, I would say growth. Wright City's will see a lot of growth over the next several years, and it's a priority certainly to responsibly manage that, to responsibly manage our taxpayer dollars, to ensure that every kid gets the best education that they possibly can. So thanks everyone for being here tonight.
All right, next up is Stephen Jones. Stephen is running for Troy Alderman of Ward 2.
Hello everyone, I'm Steve Jones. Just to give you a little background, I'm a Navy veteran, Vietnam veteran also. Thank you for your service. I have 6 children. I have 13 grandchildren, and a few of them are still here in Lincoln County. I'm actually rerunning for Alderman, Ward 2. So I'm getting to finish up my first 2 years of being an alderman. It's been quite the experience, and I'm hoping for another 2 years, so you're not going to have to walk up on the stage for me. Any questions, please feel free to come on up. I'll be glad to talk to you and be very honest. Thank you.
All right, before we go on to our next, which will be Dennis Dieter, just a reminder that there is still food outside, so if anyone is hungry, feel free to grab some food, bring it back in and eat. I believe they'll be here until the end also, so make sure you get some food. It's Frankenburger, they're a new food truck located in the parking lot of Ink Spot right now. So we just wanted to support somebody new. All right, Dennis. Dennis Dieter is running for Troy Alderman, Ward 3.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for showing up and giving us time to speak to you. Give you a little history of myself. I was born in St. Charles County. I wasn't born here. Lincoln County Hospital wasn't built yet. But I spent my entire life here. I was raised in Moscow Mills. I moved to Troy. I've lived in Winfield. Lived pretty much all over the county. I have 2 daughters. I've been married for 35 years to my lovely wife, Teresa, and go to Sacred Heart Church. My 2 daughters, both of them graduated from college. My youngest graduated with 4.0 from Southeast, and my oldest graduated with 4.0 from Truman. So they make me very proud for what they do. But at the same token, they bestow into me a lot of things that I didn't think was possible. I run for Alderman in 2006. I run against Jim Zerwesty, probably one of the best known people in Lincoln County, one heck of a guy. Did I think I'd win? No, but I ran anyway. Everybody asked me why I run. Well, I just run. It was a time that I run, and Jim was a candidate. I respect Jim with utmost. I mean, he's a super nice guy. But over the years of being an alderman, I've learned a lot of things. One of the things is it's a lot of work. You do things that you don't think you can do. We balance budgets pretty much every year. When I say pretty much every year, there's always questions whether we go over them or we don't. As far as deficit spending, we're not deficit spending, but the rumor's gotten out that we have, but we haven't. Right now, Troy's current budget is they have $19 million in the bank, almost 20 at this time. At the beginning of this year, we were supposed to have 14. So we're doing pretty good for the most part. There's a lot of issues that goes on in Troy right now that the police department is one of them. People don't realize the problems with the crimes that we're having all around us, but once you're involved in the board, you get to see a little things that most people don't see. Rick, I commend you for what you do, and I support the police department 100%. I will continue, as always, to do my best to serve the people. Every time somebody called, I've always went out to speak to them personally, which comes up with some hazards as well. I ripped my leg apart last year, and this year, just 2 weeks ago, I got bit by a dog. So whoever's running, please be careful. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, next up, Angela Dye, running for Winfield Ward 2 Alderman.
Hi, my name is Angela Dye. Just a little bit about my background. I was born in April 1977. And I was brought home to Winfield. My whole family was born and raised in Winfield. We all lived off of Hewitt Street in East Winfield. Winfield is my home. Winfield is my heart. When I think of family and love, I think of Winfield, as I'm sure that most of us do, being from these rural communities in our county here. It's no secret that Winfield has been having its own share of issues, and our town is divided, which is quite a shame. This is the first year in quite a few years that we have actually had candidates to run against the current board, and so on and so forth. I do have to say that due to unforeseen circumstances after I signed up to run in December for Alderman of Ward 2, I have to be out of my home 5 days before the election. So I'm still on the ballot. You can still vote for me. I cannot accept the position, but the mayor or board of aldermen, however that works, if I do win, can appoint somebody in my spot. It has been very sad for me during this whole process to have to leave my home, and especially leave my hometown. My children live there. Like I said, my whole family lives there. And, you know, it's a part of who I am, and no matter where I go, it's always in my heart. And, you know, I wish the best of luck to everyone. I know we're all here for the right reasons. And I thank all of you guys for putting this together. It's quite nerve-wracking. And I think my 2 minutes is up, so thank you guys.
All right, next up is Herb Crosby. He is running for mayor of Winfield.
Thank you, Shelley. My name's Herb Crosby, and my family has lived in Winfield for about 130 years. I was born in Troy in 1959, and I believe I'm uniquely qualified to maintain the small town culture that everybody admires in Winfield. My platform is to lower the water bills in Winfield. Even though it's a public utility, they're getting somewhere between 30 and 40% profit off these things. I don't think there'd be any problem at all to lower those water bills. I want to restore trust in our city's government, in our police department, in all facets of it. I want to encourage civic engagement by the youth, by the older folks, by virtually everybody. And I want to reestablish a level of confidence in our city that they haven't seen in my lifetime. Thank you very much.
Next up is Jessica Zumwalt. Jessica is running for the Lincoln County Medical Center trustee position as well.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Zumwalt. I'm your current Lincoln County Collector of Revenue. And like many of you, I've wondered why we were still paying taxes when the hospital was being leased by Mercy. That is the second most asked question that our office gets almost on a daily basis. And here's what I've learned throughout doing a little bit of research and stuff. LCMC was established nearly 70 years ago, opened its doors in 1953, and adheres to the state statutes set during that time. 8 years ago, Mercy entered into a contract with LCMC, which has actually been a blessing, like Jill has said. For several years, the LCMC was consistently losing money annually until the decision was made to get out of the healthcare business. Mercy then agreed to the original 8-year contract with the option of 2 5-year extensions, with the first of those 2 extensions beginning earlier this month. This agreement has allowed the LCMC levy to be gradually reduced over the last 8 years. With this also came a binding agreement that LCMC would pay $900,000 annually to Mercy as an incentive to be here. Mercy gives away approximately $1 million
and free health care services here in our area. We need to be responsible and prepare for the future. The LCMC board has a fiscal responsibility to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollars and ensure we have quality health care close to home. For example, having health care close to home for our seniors and for those that may not have the means to travel outside our local area is very important. Mercy is a certified critical access and stroke-approved facility, which is very important when minutes matter. I was born here in Lincoln County in 1975, and it was Lincoln County Memorial Hospital. As was my middle son. He was born in 1992, which I believe was probably about one of the last years that we had OB unit here. I use Mercy doctors here as well. As my primary doctor. I appreciate being able to have quality health care close to home. I would also like to thank Sean O'Brien for his service throughout his tenure on the board. He's the seat that is open that Jill and I are running for. This is an unpaid position, and all members donate their time to our community by serving on this board. I would appreciate the opportunity to serve you as a member of the LCMC Board of Trustees and ask for your vote on April 4th.
All right, next up was a maybe to speak, Josh Herbig. All right, Josh is running for the Winfield R4 School Board. It looks like he's making his way up here.
I guess you can call it a yes. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Josh Herbig. I am running for the Winfield R4 School Board this year. It's my first time doing this, so as you can tell, the maybe. First time throwing my hat in the ring for any political office as far as school board is concerned. I currently live in Chain of Rocks. My children attend the Winfield R4 School District. I have 3 there, 2 in middle school and 1 in the intermediate school. And my wife does a lot of work as a substitute teacher, and she also works as the office manager for the primary school during summer school. Over the last few years, I gotta say, I really enjoyed Winfield. I like the school district, I like the town, I like the community. I enjoy the people there, and I have a lot of fun there. My family has a lot of fun there. We feel at home. But I've seen some, quite frankly, boneheaded mistakes by the school board, especially with the new middle school that was just built, a couple other issues that have come up, and I think things can be done better. Why do I think maybe I could help with that? Well, kind of a man of many talents. I see both sides of the coin. I'm a veteran. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service. On top of being a veteran and a Republican, I'm also a card-carrying member of Local 562 Plumbers and Pipe Fitters. So I see both sides of those arguments. Thank you, sir. As far as everything else is concerned, I'm also a project manager for a local company, an HVAC company, and I spend a lot of time dealing with budgets, estimating, all of the things that go along with management of projects. So I have a very broad level of experience that I think would lend me to be able to provide a voice of reason to the school board and assist them and the local schools so that we can give every child the opportunity and the ability, well, the opportunity and the resources to achieve their own academic success. And for that, I think my time is up, so thank you very much. Sincerely appreciate your vote. If you have any questions, I'm in the back.
All right, thanks for being brave. Next up is Brenda Sargent, running for Winfield Alderman Ward 1.
Thank you all. I haven't done public speaking since about 3rd grade, so. My name's Brenda Sargent Crosby, and I am married to the gentleman that's running for mayor in Winfield. I'm running for alderman for Ward 1. What I bring to the table is I know people. I've been in customer service, I've been in management. I've been working for about 3 years trying to regain trust in our community with people in the floodplain specifically. And I have reached out to others in Ward 1. I want to bring our community back together and do what's best for everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, next up is Robin Kreitz, also running for Alderman Ward 1 of Winfield.
Good evening, my name is Robin Kreitz. I'm running for re-election for Winfield Ward 1. I've been on the board for about 8 years now, and as most of you know, Lincoln County is a growing area, and Winfield is growing, and you need a board that is educated, that knows what's going on. If re-elected, I would like to continue to make sure that Winfield is up to the standards of its infrastructure. Growth is on the horizon. You need a board that knows what to do. If re-elected, I want to continue to make sure your board represents all residents, not a select few with a personal agenda. If re-elected, I will continue to build the relationships with the fire department, the police department, and the school district, and work to enhance our community. We do have a great relationship with our school district, our fire department, and our police department. We can always make it better. I do agree with other people running that we probably do need more things for our youth. There's not a whole lot out in Winfield, so I do encourage that. It's time for Winfield to be able to get back to work and do the job that we've been elected to do. And so I ask for your vote on April 4th for re-election. Thank you so much.
Next, we had another maybe, Sandy? Nope? All right. But Sandy Reese for Alderman Ward 2 of Winfield did show up tonight, so thanks for coming. Next on the list would be George Ferguson, Alderman Ward 2 of Troy.
Hello, I'm George Ferguson. I came to Lincoln County in about 2014. I work at Jerome Motors. I'm a proud UAW Local 2250 member, and I know how important it is to have good jobs. I support the police, I support small business, and I understand that if money leaves and goes to Wentzville, it doesn't stay in Lincoln County. So as an alderman, I understand that we got to keep the money in the town to be able to have the funds to be able to support the police, to take care of ourselves. Yeah, it's pretty nervous, but I'm young, nothing against Steven, but I'm the same as Dennis, you know? I'm young, I have my first kid, we're growing up here in Troy, and I just want to help any way I can. Thank you guys.
All right, next up is another baby, Dawn. All right, Dawn Garber is running for Mayor of Winfield.
Hello, my name is Dawn Garber. I'll be running for mayor. This will be, hopefully, my second term. I have lived in Winfield for over 20 years, and my son has grown up there. It's on the contrary to what some of the people are actually saying, it's actually a beautiful little town. It's got that wonderful small town feel to it, and I want to keep that going. I know that we're growing. I know that there's a lot of things that are going on in my town, and we have to get prepared for that. We have to worry about our infrastructure. We have to worry about maintaining. There's a lot of things that we have to keep control over, especially with our budget, and I understand that. But like I said, we have a lot of developers that are actually coming to our city. Some of them are a little bit more aggressive than others, And we're gonna need to have somebody that's actually gonna know how to keep that at bay and to keep it where it is still a small town, but we still have that growth that we need. I really don't have much more to say outside of the fact that I do want to rerun again. I do want to be part of this community again. I love the small town, but I know that we also need to grow, and there's a responsibility that takes place when you do have growth. I know that you need to keep this budget going as well. You need to make sure that everything is actually in place, budgeted properly. Can't be frivolous with your money and spending it crazy. We do actually have a pretty tight budget. It's not we don't have a whole lot of room because we do have to maintain our infrastructures. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm glad to be here. I would love to have the opportunity to just talk to quite a few people if I could and kind of explain what's going on in Winfield and some of the things that are going to be happening. Have a wonderful evening.
All right, we're coming up to the end. We have 3 left. Next up is Carolyn Spraggs. Carolyn is running for the School Board of Warren County, R3.
Hello. First, I want to just thank the organizers for hosting this event and then for all of you attending. Coming to events like this shows how much you care about our community, and this is the reason why I'm here tonight. So I'm Carolyn Spraggs, and I'm running to be a representative of the Warren County R3 School Board of Education. My husband and I are from Jefferson City, and we moved to Seattle when he was hired as a Seattle fireman. After having kids, we quickly realized that the morals and beliefs of our area did not align with ours. Therefore, we moved back home to Missouri. He's now a chiropractor, and we run a chiropractic office together. So now we found our forever home because we found a community whose values match and are in line with ours. And that's why I need your vote. I need it so that I can support you and our community to protect the values that we hold dear. This is my second time running for school board. I found myself initially running last year over COVID concerns, and I kept meeting members of the community who didn't believe that their voices were being heard. Over the past year, I have met with teachers, board members, administrators, and community leaders. I have educated myself on the issues the district has faced and could potentially face in the future. Budget issues, teacher retention, the quick growth in our community, and the low scores for our students. So those of you who know me know that I've been extremely active in school board meetings. I brought suggestions to the board during meetings, after meetings, and added items to the agenda as well. Quite often, I'm the only non-school employee that is even present at school meetings. I promise to the Warren County voters this: I will be a listening ear for your concerns. I will use forethought for our district as I represent your voices. I will represent the needs of this community to the best of my ability because our futures, our kids' futures, and the district employees' futures depend on it. Thank you so much for meeting.
All right, the next one, we wanted to recognize his participation. John O'Malley is here. He's a write-in for Moscow Mills Ward 1. He's not going to speak tonight, but thanks for coming. Brief advertising before our last one. Montana's going to come and tell us a little bit about Frankenburger. We want to support our new growing businesses.
My speech ain't gonna be very good, so I apologize. I'm with Frankenburger. It is a family-owned company. We just got our food truck up and running. Right now we are in Ink Spot's parking lot until we move to Cherry Street across from White and Younger. We really appreciate all the business. We love seeing new faces, old faces, and if you guys want to give us a try, we have some amazing food out there before you guys leave. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you.
Our final one is a uncontested candidate. She sent in a note because she couldn't be here. Nicole Hansen is running for Ward 2, Alderman in Winfield. So there's 2 races. We had 2 other candidates here tonight. Nicole is for the second race that is uncontested. I want to apologize for not being here myself this evening, for I couldn't get out of my work. My name is Nicole Hansen, and I am a telecommunicator supervisor here at Lincoln County 911, a full-time mother, a go-getter with a passion for service, and above all else, an active and concerned citizen in our community. I look forward to being Alderman of Ward 2 in Winfield for the next year. At least, I'm eager to be a fresh voice to elevate our community. Although I have not lived here but a couple years, I plan to continue to raise my child here and see myself in my lifelong home. A few quick things that concern me in our town: the number of homeless or low poverty children or elderly that live next to us. Aside from the coat rack that has already been brought to our city with the help of our local Girl Scouts, I am working on a blessing box as well as looking into fundraising and grant opportunities to help us assist those that need it. I want more things for our children to do. I'm not sure what that will entail exactly just yet, for that is going to take a team to do, but it's on the agenda. Whether it be some sort of center, going to hang out with our senior citizens, volunteer projects, fishing events, there are so many different things and the possibilities are endless. Our ordinances need to be reviewed and enforced for all. There are so many more ideas, but for the sake of keeping this short, I'll leave it at that. Please feel free to reach out to me personally if you wish. I'm asking for your vote on April 4th. I'm asking for you to trust me to be your voice to make sure our community continues to thrive while being affordable, safe, welcoming, and becoming one again. Yes, your voice. I will not sit on this board for myself. I sit for my whole community. Over this next year, I will prove that, and hopefully for many more to come. Thank you. Well, that is it for this evening. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, candidates, for standing up here. I know it's not always easy, but we do appreciate your willingness to serve your community, and hopefully we'll be able to follow up with you as time goes on and some of you get elected. There is food outside. Feel free to go grab some. The candidates will probably stick around. We did say the event closes at 8:30, so feel free to mingle, wander around, and ask questions. Thank you all for coming.